Hi everyone, it's Deb. I am the founder of the company Life is What You Make It. And what my company does is it focuses on helping women over the age of 50 to find or create work that they really love to do and that connects them with their purpose. That is my mission in life, is to help women not to settle in their lives because darn it, we are all worth it. Today, I want to talk to you about a really funny story. I think it's a really funny story, so I wanted to share it with you. So, the other day, I was driving and I was stopped at a red light. And out of the corner of my eye, there was a bus stop there. And out of the corner of my eye, I could see this woman. And something just kind of drew my attention over to her. And I turned around and I looked. And she had like a grocery store bag, like a white plastic bag or whatever. And she was holding it with two hands and she was holding it up to her face like this. And I could see her chewing something. And I'm looking and I'm going, okay, well, this is really odd because it wasn't something small. So she piqued my interest. I had to figure out what it was that she was eating. And then she kind of took the bag down a little bit, I guess to get a better handle on what she was eating. And what I saw, it was a great big loaf of bread. So one of those loaves of bread that aren't sliced. And she had pulled down the plastic and you could see like just like chunks, like she was gnawing at this bread, great big chunks of bread that were actually being taken out. And she's trying to navigate um the chewing in her mouth. You could tell, and at one point she even took her hand and she took out a little piece because the bite was too big for her because she was literally tearing off this bread with her teeth. I'd never seen anything like that before. I was laughing hysterically when I realized what she was doing. And she was hungry, I guess. She was probably about a 20-year-old girl, probably off to university. There's a grocery store on the corner, so she probably just stopped there and got the bread. But as I was driving further, it kind of reminded me of how sometimes we live our life and like eating that great big loaf of bread, and trying to gnaw off really big pieces all at one time. And sometimes when we do that, we have to take some out of our mouth, quite literally, because it's too big. Or maybe we stop chewing altogether. Or maybe we even stop taking bites out of that. And when we look at that in terms of how some of us live our lives, that even made me laugh even further to think that we can create analogies, so to speak, by looking at this big chunk of bread. And what I know to be true is that when we bite off too much, when our chunks are too big from our loaf of bread, it can cause inertia. It can cause procrastination. It can cause you feeling really bad about yourself and beating yourself up and getting shame and guilt over not getting something done. So let me just give you an example of something that I'm sure that everybody can relate to in terms of our health and our fitness. January is coming. It's always a good time for people to start new things, or maybe you want to fit into a really nice piece of clothing at Christmas time or Thanksgiving time that maybe is a little tight right now. Whatever the case may be, we take a look at something and we go, okay, I need to lose 10 pounds. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the gym every day. I'm going to stop eating carbs. I'm not going to eat anything after 6 p.m. I'm only going to eat a smoothie or drink a smoothie for breakfast. Whatever the case may be, we bite off too much sometimes. And after 2 or 3 or 4 days, often we give up because we've bitten off too much. And so when we bite off too much, it causes that shame and that guilt. Oh my goodness, I'm doing it again. Why can't I stick to anything that I ever think of that I'm going to? What am I doing? And it's because we actually need to chunk things down even more. So ripping off that piece of bread, maybe we even need to make it a little bit smaller. And maybe we do that in our work life too. So you might be a woman in your 50s or in your 60s right now, and your work really isn't working for you. You're not looking forward to going in, you're tired, you're bored, you're exhausted, you don't like your boss, you don't like the work anymore. Maybe you really wish that you could make a change, but you don't really know what that could look like. You don't know um, your value in the workplace any longer. Maybe you've had a calling on your heart to start your own business, but you have no idea how to do that. And so you're thinking about all of these things that you could be doing, and it creates overwhelm. So then you end up not doing anything about it at all because you're not really sure of what to do. You're not really sure of how much to chew off. And that is one of the things that I help women to do, is to slice that bread. And when you slice the bread, then it's easier to navigate. It's easier to take off one bite at a time. But I also really encourage women in my program to put some yummy, yummy butter on that slice of bread. And by that, I mean, it's not about the destination. It's not about where you want to get to. It's about really enjoying the journey on the way there. Because when we fool ourselves into saying, I'll be happy when, we never are. The decision to be happy comes before the I'll be happy when, comes before the actual thing. And so when I talk about the butter on the piece of bread, that's the yumminess, that's the goodness. How do we soak up every bit of goodness on this journey towards finding or creating work that we really love? How do we put the butter on the bread with some little bit of garlic on there too, to really spice up our relationship, or to even find a great, amazing, passionate relationship? How do we focus on our health and our fitness and our well-being while having a lot of fun doing it? Those things are all possible for you with the right coaching, with the right guidance, with the right support, in really breaking those things down so that you feel good about yourself. You feel good about your progress. You feel good about the bites that you're taking, and you're having some fun doing it. So I hope that you enjoyed my story about the loaf of bread as much as I did, because it was just absolutely hysterical seeing this young woman. And maybe you can relate to that a little bit in terms of what's going on in your life right now. Are you biting off too much? Are you looking at that whole pile, that whole great big loaf together, and you're really having a hard time breaking it apart into nice, lovely little pieces with some butter on it? If you are, then that's exactly the work that I do with women. I'd love to chat with you to see if I can help or support you in your work journey, if you're looking at finding or creating something different that works for you better at this particular stage in your life. I'd be happy to have a chat with you about it. I offer a free 45-minute chat just to see what's going on with you, and to see if I really am the right person to help you. And if I am, and if I know that I can, I'm going to talk to you about what I do in my program. So you have to be ready to kind of dive in and go, you know what? I really am sick and tired of being sick and tired. So if that's where you're at, jump on the phone with me. We'll see if it's a good fit. If not, that's great too. I'll steer you in a different direction, whatever is going to serve you better. And you can book this complimentary 45-minute call by going to debraven.com/apply. That's debraven.com/apply. And you can pick a spot on my calendar, and we will see you at the time that you booked it. So another reminder, slice that bread, put some yummy butter on it, and enjoy. Talk to everybody soon. Bye.